Alright, time for another SLM sermon. And this one's kind of relevant now that we're returning to the office. And obviously, COVID is still going on. A lot of people still have trouble finding childcare. A lot of people are still getting ill in the office and have to take time away. Now, a lot of places I worked at, including where I am right now, have a policy that the employees can donate some of their paid time off to their colleagues who are dealing with illness or family matters. Sounds great in principle, right? I love helping people out. I love charity. The problem is that you got an office environment where you got your colleague who has a very emotional issue, right? They're actually sick and they're calling you. They're coughing into the phone. Or they have a child who's sick, or maybe the child's babysitter, or in the case of where I had a colleague who had a very complicated pregnancy. How do you say no to somebody like that, right? You really can't. And so I'm thinking to myself, and plus, the other problem with that is, okay, so you got a colleague who definitely needs the help. You got another colleague who donates their vacation time, and now they're burned out for the year. Are you really getting more output out of the one employee who doesn't get to take a vacation that year? And so you got a double loss, right? You got this one colleague who decides to harass another colleague who, just because they think their time isn't very valuable, and then you got the other one who's burned out and doesn't produce more output for the year. It's really a lose-lose situation, right? I can understand if you have an employee who has an emergency and wanting to take care of that, but the answer isn't to burn out another employee to do it, right, and have a double loss, right? I can certainly understand the value of teamwork and helping your colleagues out, and I can certainly understand charity, but we abuse the concept of charity here in the United States, right? How many times have you gone shopping and at the checkout, they ask you, do you want to round up for whatever foundation, right? And you're in a line with other people. The cashier is asking you, do you want to donate $5 to whatever? And you make it sound like you're harsh, right? But we really abuse that concept, right? Or nowadays, because nobody wants to touch dirty cash, you got to use your Apple Pay, and it's always asking if you want to tip, right? For things we never thought about tipping, right? You buy something on Craigslist, you got to tip now, right? Because you're using Apple Pay, right? You are, what else did I do recently? You're getting your car serviced, and it asks you, do you want to tip, right? I recently needed to get some car repairs. It asked me if I wanted to tip, right? In the past, I would have just paid cash and be done with it, right? Anyways, some food for thought there. I'm really nervous about this situation because I know, I'm very fortunate to have taken good care of my health, had the ability and the desire to take good care of my health, so I haven't had too much of a COVID scare. My family hasn't had too much of a COVID scare. I don't have any children, but I know sooner or later somebody's going to ask me for some of my paid time off, and that's going to be a tricky situation. I hope this trend goes away. It really started with the big tech companies who thought this was a great way for employees to connect with one another. It was very short-sighted, in my opinion. It creates a very, very hostile work environment, in my opinion.